This is going to be an ultimate Call of Dragons guide for Alwyn. I'm going to share with you everything you need to know for these heroes so you can be the most efficient on the battlefield. I'm saying the battlefield because this hero is built for PvP. It's not for gathering purpose. So it's something like update Call of Dragons guide over Alwyn because I believe this hero still have some place in our roster, especially if you're mid-game or you just start playing Call of Dragons and you want to go on the mage path and hit one like if you're mage main or you decide to be a mage main. So first thing first is we're going to go over the skills of this hero and what separate him. First of all, what separate him is not exactly something you desire as a mage main in the season 1 because it's actually hitting a single target. Even though the damage is very solid, very nice, it's just a single target. It's basically doing some damage factor 600, extra damage factor 200, which is like 800 at the end of the day, and is applying this and snare it. Now here is the thing, this is going to play very important part when we start talking about the pets. I'm going to explain later in the video when we start talking about the pets. Deals magic damage every second, like damage factor 100, and march speed 10%. 10% is something that you're not going to even notice. I want to be absolutely brutally honest with you. 10% march speed reduction is not, you're not going to notice that your legion that you're hitting is 10% reduced march speed. Rest of the spells is pretty much generic, if I can use this word. It's like passive skill, some magic attack, HP. Here we have normal damage taken reduction 15%. Now this is a good one because the mages, the only damage the mages are receiving is from counterattack. If you get catched by somebody, you're gone, okay? Because mages are very squishy, but in general, in majority of the cases, you're just going to hit from the safe distance, and this damage taken reduction is just going to help your legion to stay alive for longer. And here we have this passive skill. When legions hit with normal attack, 15% chance to ensnare the attacker for 3 seconds. Again, you don't want to get hit by anybody. Even, I don't know, from the darkling patrols on the map. Because again, mages are very squishy and you have to be careful with that. And finally, the awakening is basically increasing or giving this additional damage factor, which is 200. So at the end is doing more damage, okay? So this is from point of the skills. It's a single target mage, which rest of the skills is not something wild. I personally didn't actually use that much Alwyn back in the days, but maybe you're going to find a good place for this hero. Now what this hero actually have is the control tower tree. Why I'm actually speaking about the control tower tree is just because it's having these debuffs. What I mean by that is when your legion launches a normal attack, you have a chance to inflict defense break. When your legion launches a normal attack, you have a chance to inflict gloom, which is reducing the attack by up to 5%, and also you have silence when you cast your rage skill, 25% chance to silence the target for 2 seconds. Now these 2 seconds may actually break the cycle of some enemy legion. This is important, it can break because you may depend on the life cycle of your rage skill. So having this 2% silence may affect this thing. So I think this one is a good one, but in general it's for the control tower tree. It's not the best control tower tree for mages because I strongly believe they have to do damage, not like controlling the units on the battlefield. So I don't, maybe you're going to need to have one legion that's having control tower tree in your 5 legions roster, just to, you know, giving this defense break and attack down. But in general, it's not something that as a mage main you want to have. So this is from point of tower tree that you can actually use. Now let's talk about the pairing of this hero. Now maybe this is one of the heroes that is very hard to be paired, and I'm going to explain you why. Now you have epics like Athios that is giving rage regeneration, 30% chance to get 60 rage, also doing immediately the damage. You're having Warrior that's having the skill talent tree. On top of that is doing not defused AoE damage up to 4 legions on the battlefield. Also is giving some hero skill damage bonus 15%. Also shields and blah blah blah, but this is the best PvP hero right now in Call of Dragons. From point of mages, and there is no other mage, so basically Alwyn is the most weak mage from all of them. It is what it is, guys, and this is how I see the things. So for pairing, I don't know, if you don't have any kind of hero, you can actually use her, but at the end of the day, if you're in the season 1, you don't have mages, most likely you also don't have troops. And just by going with 3 legions, mage legions, just to have more legions on the battlefield, you're going to fill your hospital way more faster. So it's very important to actually select the best legions, the best heroes in general to be in your mage legions. And to be fair, Alwyn is not one of them. I'm just making this guide just for the people who, you know, are thinking to experiment with Alwyn or giving a shot to this hero. But I personally believe that this hero, it needs some changes from point of what he's doing, because the rest of the mage heroes is just way overperforming this hero. Now from point of artifacts, any generic artifacts can be used for this hero. It can be, for example, Phoenix Eye. It can be, I don't think this hero is going to be good for support legion. Again, we have Tara, we have what was the name, Warrior, and this type of heroes that are very good supporting legion. So maybe you can go with Phoenix Eye and maybe Thunder Elegy and maybe Magic Bomb. Magic Bomb is also a good one. But if you're or Kraken or even Mid-Spender in the season 1 and you want to go out with more legions, Alwyn is a great thing you can put in your legions. But mostly it's going to be the Magic Bomb. The reason behind is if you're in the generation 1 and you're using Lilia with Thea, you want to go with Infernal Flames, just basically boosting the damage of Lilia. When you inflict Scorch, you're going to get like 25 or 30% magic attack for 5 seconds. Phoenix Eye most likely is going to go at the legion like Warrior and Velen. So you already have Lilia, Thea, you have Warrior and Velen. And if you want to build the third legion, that is going to be a mage one, you can go with Alwyn with Athius and actually use the Magic Bomb. This is how I see if you want to run like 3 legions, because you have tons of troops. And believe it or not, you can actually get tons of troops when because I start over just to make my beginner guide. So yeah, if you enjoyed this type of videos, make sure you hit 1 like on the video, also subscribe for the future Call of Dragons video. But I go from the beginning where I start playing all over and I see there are some bundles with the troops inside. Everything is way more easy if you want to get a lot of troops. So yeah, if you want to run like 3 legions, Alwyn is going to be your 3rd legion in season 1. Obviously in the generation 2 is going to be Bertrand Tocher. We're not going to have that many epic heroes at the end of the day, so you're going to fill your legions with epics too. You take away all the epic heroes and replace them with the legendary heroes. Now let's talk about the pets. Maybe this is going to be the only pet that I think is going to be working. Not I think, I believe that is going to work with Alwyn, just because here when you inflict Scorch, which is Lilia, here Frost, this is Warrior and Velen, and Ensnare, this is actually Alwyn. You're going to do more damage with your Flame Boom. So yeah, from this perspective, I believe that Sapphire Fire Drake is going to be the best pet you can pair with Alwyn Legion. So in general, do I miss something? I don't think so. This is going to be, so if you're interested in more Call of Dragons videos, I'm going to put 1 video here. You can go and check it out and increase your knowledge over this amazing game from my perspective. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.